The year is 1941. Inter-Island Airways has been in business for 12 years, and the Sikorsky S-38 and 43 amphibian airplanes are inadequate for the increasing inter-island passenger and cargo business. Dependable land planes are the answer. In late August 1941, Inter-Island Airways purchases 3 DC-3s from Douglas Aircraft Company and flies them out to Honolulu from Oakland, California. General Manager Stanley Kennedy and Douglas DC-3 project manager Carl Cover, a former Inter-Island pilot, order them all to be flown in formation the entire trip over the 2,400 miles of Pacific Ocean. It takes 13 hours and 54 minutes, at the time the longest flight ever made by a DC-3. Thousands gather at John Rogers Airport on August 30th, 1941 to welcome airplane numbers 9, 10, and 11 as they arrive into Honolulu. The event is heralded in Hawaii's newspapers, and the DC-3 wins immediate acceptance as a safe and reliable airplane. The DC-3s are named after Hawaiian mountains, Moanalua, Haleakala, and Waialeale. On October 1st, 1941, Inter-Island Airways officially changes its name to Hawaiian Airlines. The new aircraft showed the logos for both Inter-Island Airways and Hawaiian Airlines so that the traveling public would understand the transition. Unfortunately, the day of infamy was but a few weeks away.
20 and 75 reports, plane bombing Pearl Harbor. Place is all afire.
On the morning of December 7th, 1941, Japanese fighter pilots strafed number 9 during their first pass over the airport. The cockpit burst into flames, but luckily no passenger or crew were on board at the time. On a second pass, a stray bullet hit the cockpit fire extinguisher. CO2 escaped and thankfully put out the fire. The incident was so bizarre that it made the pages of Ripley's Believe It or Not. In February 1942, number 11 arrived in Honolulu and brought back materials to repair number 9.
With respect to DC-3 number 9, Hawaiian's first DC-3, that was strafed by a Zero fighter that morning, I have a vague memory of something on the order of, at least on one side of the airplane, about a half a dozen patches.
In a few months, all 3 were once again flying passengers to the neighbor islands. During the war, John Rogers Airport was under construction, and Hawaiian Airlines was forced to use Hickam Field, where the Army regulated the airline's actions. Curtains were put up on all 3 DC-3 passenger windows so that no one could look out and spot sensitive military installations and maneuvers. But since people had a tendency to peek through the curtains, the windows were later painted dark blue. With the blacked out windows of the DC-3s, the first Hawaiian Airlines hostesses came into some less than ideal conditions in 1943, but they still did a great job tending to the ever-growing passenger traffic that climbed from 28,000 in 1940 to more than 110,000 in 1944. One hostess was required for each 24-passenger DC-3 flight, and some can still remember what it was like.
It really did feel like a very safe airplane, but everyone would always go like this to us. You fly that plane? Yeah, we climbed up to go to the cockpit, and we almost slid down. But it was, I think, a darling airplane.
We flew so low that we could point out, various things in the islands, and it was fun. We were very young and strong. We could stand up to almost anything, even the turbulence of, was it McGregor Point?
After the war, Hawaiian Airlines acquired new Convair CV-340s that carried 44 passengers. Most DC-3s were either used for cargo or sold. Number 9 stuck around and was converted into a Viewmaster model in 1955. It now offered its 31 passengers a unique aerial experience with its 4 5-foot panoramic windows and 8 enlarged Convair-sized windows. Passengers could now enjoy amazing aerial views of the Hawaiian Islands and were even encouraged to take pictures. 8 DC-3s, 6 passenger and 2 cargo aircraft were still in service in 1957, but time was running out for these old birds. Finally, in 1959, Captain Bob McGuire, co-pilot Paul White, navigator Herbert Beam, and engineer Ed Avery flew DC-3 number 9, nicknamed Old Patches, to Japan for transfer to North Japan Airlines. Ironically, the Japanese officials complained about the metal patches on the fuselage caused by the attack on Pearl Harbor 18 years earlier.
They came and inspected the airplane, and one of them climbed up on the wing and he noticed these patches. He huddled with the other Japanese gentleman and asked us about what about those patches. And I think I told him that the patches were required to cover up the holes put in there by the Japanese Naval Air Force on December 7th.
The DC-3 era officially came to an end in January of 1969, when the last two were sold to Aircraft Unlimited of Muskegon, Michigan. But many still adore the DC-3, Hawaiian Airlines' first strictly land planes, as a safe and reliable aircraft during its 28-year run.
I think this is one of the greatest planes ever designed, built to last, easy to fly.
Everyone will always remember number 9 and its patches, as well as that day of infamy that caused them.